Hey, y'all ain't gonna believe what I got.
What?
We're live, by the way.
Oh, hello. Hi, guys.
Hey, y'all.
What did you get?
Oh, let me. Oh, I hope it pulls it. Look, can you see it?
Let me see. Oh, how cute. A little gavel. I love
Yep, and
it.
I ain't afraid to use it.
Adorable.
Pink
Very
got me
cute.
this. It's a pencil, but I will never use it as a pencil.
Oh, it's a pencil gavel?
Yeah.
Oh, how cute. That's adorable. I love that.
Oh, let me scoot over. It's okay. Okay. Hey, Stadius, Life Rewinded. How stinky. Ain't it cute? Is it saying that it's time for us to start? Heads up, everybody. Oh, good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Pussycat. You got yourself in trouble, ma'am. Wendell, you here?
I'm here. I'm waiting. I'm
Oh,
ready. Let's
Destin.
hear it.
Okay, I'm just waiting on people to come in.
Okay.
So, we will start with the end because I know that's what people want to know.
Well, before we
No.
start with the end, can we, for people who don't know, her pit bull attorney, and I use that term quite loosely, as you know, her pit bull attorney filed at least 5 documents over the weekend for last minute, whining that he wanted to do before the judge. So, did any of those documents come in?
No.
So they didn't talk about any of that.
They did at first, and the judge was like, yeah.
Okay,
Basically.
so this it went from a jury trial to a bench trial. So
Yes.
I don't know if anyone's ever seen a bench trial before, but they're very different. They don't do a lot of
Very.
the showy shenanigans that they do before an audience. They kind of talk like they're in a conference room almost, and it's a lot more casual between the lawyers and the judge. So the judge wasn't putting up with any shenanigans, right? You were telling me.
No, he wasn't. He put up with a lot more than I would have put up with. I'll
Yeah.
say that. Don't you think?
Yeah, they go quick too. Exactly. Yeah, they want this in and out. Absolutely, get on with their day for sure.
And I know
Hey, Flurpy.
Plurpy do. I love you, Debbie doll. Can you say
Merv put out a post? She did not have much to say. Where's Merv's post? Bring that in. Let's see it. I want to see what Merv's post is.
Okay.
I'll look for it. I'll look for it. You go.
Oh, okay. All right. You go. All right.
Yeah.
Tell me when you got it.
I will.
Great to see y'all at court. It was a great day, no matter what. I'm telling you, it was, if nothing else, entertainment. I know that Jackie and Heather are absolutely exhausted and spent and done, and I don't even know what else to say, but and my notes sucked because I kept thinking this is so good. I'm gonna. Oh, Sandy, you're right. All right, so we'll start with who
have
gonna
it.
stand. Oh,
here's
okay.
here's her message.
I took
just so we can have it. She
some.
says, "We're done with the trial for today. I won't talk about things too much because it's not over yet. And I don't want to say anything because I don't want to do stuff like that. I don't want to say anything until we have a decision. But we're feeling good and hopeful and praying to God that the truth is seen by the judge. And that's where we are. And I love you all and thank you for your support. And no matter what it is, we keep moving forward."
Where were they? Where was that party about some Merps?
I don't know. Apparently you guys took it. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Nobody showed up for her at court.
Nobody?
Well, her family, she brought her kids.
Her husband and
brought her
kids.
children in to look like the grieving, bullied mother who's just trying to make her little pennies for her family. How dare these people try to take my pennies from my children?
Oh, and you better trust and believe that went on.
Of
That
course.
went on.
Yes, it did. That's all she's got.
Good.
Thank you for being a member for 7 months, Mickey. Thank you so much. 9 people supporting Heather. And that's just so much support, just from the little short live I did today, just so much support coming in. I mean,
Courtney, that was my question. Why bring your kids to court? For the show. For the show. To look like a sweet little mother who's just trying to bring her pennies home from her little dying channel and she's so bullied and abused that she can't make any pennies. Sweet, I saw your comment. Sweet said random words in no particular order. Check. So good.
That's that me. Thank you.
So good.
Room snacks. Thank you, witness protection. Thank you so much.
No, she's talking about Mommy Rambling's comment or post. Just random words in no order. Anyway. All right.
Hey, Randy and Wendy. Hey, thank you for the super chat, Debbie. Love you.
Hey, Debbie doll.
They had to share one bottle of water, and it was so hot. So, Merv was first on the stand.
All right, and what happened?
And, that questioning seemed to go well. Like she tried to. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah. She behaved.
Wait a minute. Okay, that's why. Okay.
Girl, you had one job. Take notes. Come on. We're dying here all day.
No wonder I said I didn't take shit for notes. I was on the last page. Okay. The judge was late.
Yep.
So we sat there. And at this point I'm thinking he has decided a new career path. He does not want to be a judge anymore.
He does not want to see them ever again.
Do you have enough light?
No. Unplug the one of. No, you can't do that. No, we're fine. I'm okay. So as soon as we get there, Matry stands up. Hey, Zelda, I've been trying to find out what's happening. Even my husband wanted to know. Well, we're about to tell you. He stands up and he goes into a big spiel, spouting off bullshit. Yes, Merb's attorney. Yeah. And the judge started calling him on it. Everything like what he provided over the weekend, the judge is like, no. So
no, what? What do you mean no? No, why?
He was very what?
The judge?
No, her attorney, because he looked at him and he told him he told him to take a rest, and because he was just like kind of loud and angry, just aggressive. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
And after he said take a rest, he said something else, and the judge told him, he said, now be careful. So I was like,
careful, like what? Like he was about to be in trouble?
Contempt. Yeah, like it's going to be contempt.
Okay. Yeah. Yikes.
Hey, Rosebud. Hey, everybody. I'm sorry I'm missing.
You're not that late, Knitting.
Sent you something for coffees for you and Pink. Thank you, our Brian. Thank you so much. So, Carolyn gets called. She's on the stand. She gave her address. And she gave her address and her YouTube channel. And so then he pulls up the paper and he's like, and what does that say? And she's like, are you talking about what we've already covered? Where I just totally just agreed with my attorney.
It was covered in a deposition, ma'am, not in official court. So, yes, we are covering that again, by all means.
Because I told that in my deposition.
Yeah. But she said no. Because that's, remember, she's like, no, I don't live there. No, that's not my channel.
She denied all these things. She denied having a channel named Mommy Rambling Blog. She denied that she made any money on that channel. Like all things that are so easily provable. She sounded like an idiot.
Absolutely.
Like, why deny that stuff? Why? There's absolutely no point in doing that. You look like a liar and dumbass.
there was the biggest deal made over whether it was 11, not 2 videos, like someone else said.
Yeah, BBT. It wasn't 2 videos. There was like 12 videos.
Yeah. But Merb was like, no, I think she's like, I can't agree that it was 12 because there's some confusion. So then the attorney stands there and makes her count them. And how many was there? 12. Well, she counted 12. When he made her count them.
Count them? Oh my God.
Then her attorney still, Matry, still tried to, he's like, I don't know. I think it's 11. And she's like, no, it's 12. But so they're talking to each other. She's on the stand. Yeah.
What a moron.
Yeah.
Herb's talking like she's sitting at a kitchen table having a conversation with everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
And including the judge.
So then
Yeah,
he starts.
And the judge was like,
do
you
that.
don't talk to me.
Right.
So Merb starts to I wrote Merb's losing it. So she must have got a little triggered. He starts making her name off. Hey, Zizi, gathering place. Okay. So, starts making her, getting her to name off the videos that she struck. And that's how they got to 12. And she's a little, ooh, because she was wrong because
Right.
last night she had this live where she's like, I don't even know because they're doubling up on videos. How many I did
Yes.
strike?
I heard that. She
Yeah.
said that he was trying to get, she said, which, and it's funny because I don't watch Merv videos usually, but I watched this one because I wanted to see if she was going to comment on the fact that you guys were going. That's what I was interested in hearing. I just wanted to know if she knew that y'all were going to be there. And part of her, what she was saying was just like you just said, that that Heather's team had doubled up on videos, tried to get things counted more than once, like they were cheating or something. And that the
Yes.
judge wouldn't be able to realize that, or, she wanted to make sure that the judge, caught that. Like they were trying to sneak one over on the judge or something. I don't even understand. That made no sense at all. I'm like, I've read the paperwork. I haven't seen any duplicates of anything, ma'am.
No, there was no, there wasn't. That was cleared up.
And then she read out an email that her pit bull attorney wrote where, he's
Thank you.
he's rather agitated and angry, and she thinks that that's, I guess, a good sign. But he's really just whining because the judge has given him nothing.
He did that a lot today. A lot.
I believe that.
Look, I'm not going to cut him any slack today. I'm
No,
not.
he's
I mean,
pathetic.
So they were trying to understand, why she was striking these videos, and and this is, Heather's lawyer questioning her.
Yeah.
And, she's trying to throw in, a lot of testimony and stuff, like, because it's my intellectual property. It's this, it's that. And, and she said this several times. There's one where Jimmy fell down the stairs and we can never recreate that. We can never recreate that moment. And they were watching it on her channel and not mine. And I promise you, I'm like, is this happening?
We can never recreate that moment. Sure you can. Chuck him down the stairs. Fine.
Later, she got back on the stand later, and I know I should wait, but she gets up there to tell this story again, and she's looking at the judge. The judge is not looking at her.
Right.
And she's like, it was so funny. I'm sitting there, and he just rolled down the stairs. And we all know that did happen, but not the way that Merv, you weren't concerned. That's
She
why
didn't
Heather
think
made
it was
the video.
funny at all. She got up screaming at him.
I thought I was about to get hit.
Right. Mostly for thinking that the house was going to fall down on her.
Yes.
She wasn't concerned about him. She wasn't like, oh my God, are you okay? Nothing like that came out of her mouth. Just a bunch of, I thought the house was caving in on me. That kind of crap. And hell yeah, we watched it on everybody else's channel but yours.
And then, so Heather's attorney's asking a question, and in the middle of the question, Merb's lawyer stands up and objected. In the middle of the question, And the judge said, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah, well, we kind of figured that judge felt that way about Mr. Pitbull because
No, he called him
we've
Sparky a
read
little
the
bit.
rulings that the judge has made, and they all sound very aggravated. Like he's just
My
mad.
crazy laugh was there. Yeah. So, and the thing is I am 99.9% sure this is her attorney's first trial. Yeah, and I'm not being an asshole about that. I'm pretty sure. Because
God.
he could not help himself. He could not help it. It was he just could he?
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, that is my question. Like, you've been to court before, right?
This is what he was like. He
No.
was like, "Oh, never mind."
Or he
Oh,
would
no,
just jump
maybe-
up and say something.
And
No.
then Merba grabbed and goes, "My client, never mind."
Oh my gosh.
He was, yeah.
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
he objected to something that he provided, and the judge was like, "You provided this." We all love it when that happens. This is not even the first time that's happened in a trial. Hey, Wolf Girl, it was fantastic being in court. It was great. It was
That is
great
awesome.
being there.
That is awesome.
And then she's talking about these links that she provided for copyright, and that would seem to be a big deal because those links had never been opened on her computer.
Right. Yes. And what did they say about that?
Browser history.
Yeah.
Yes. It showed
Some
that
of
she had
those-
never even watched.
Those held to the know were never opened on her browser.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we've talked about that on this channel. We talked about that. That the evidence showed that not only did she not consider fair use, she never even watched the dang videos.
But the judge didn't seem concerned about
But
that. I mean,
well, he did. Well, what I liked about the way the judge handled the browser history thing was I thought, he's leaning towards Merbs, and then he turned it around and he made it equal. She cannot say in any way this judge wasn't fair.
right. He's not biased.
He didn't give
whatsoever.
anything away. He didn't give, like, if he believed the browser history or didn't believe it, we don't know. We don't know if it mattered to him or not because he didn't let on. But she did pipe up and say, he said, "Did you give us all your browser history? Was that everything? And did you delete anything?" And she's like, "I didn't delete anything." But she said, "But how would I know if someone deleted it off my computer? It's a shared computer." No, it's not.
Yeah, and nobody would go in and delete your browser history. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? I mean, okay, your husband's sitting right here. Ask him, did he delete anything?
Mervin, thank you so much. Yes, all of the questions were unduly burdensome today for some reason. And thank you again for the super chat. So so then that comes the 54 pages of that was handed over. That's the browser. That's everything that she's Googled, looked up.
Yes.
If she's looked for fair use, if she's looked for this.
Does it have the did she give him the excerpts from the book, the code, the U.S. code?
It was something like it wasn't fair use for dummies, but it was something very close to
It
that.
was a dummy, one of those dummy books.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she did look that up, and
She looked it up after. She didn't look it up before. Absolutely not. I will not believe it. I don't believe it. She didn't look it up before.
So then her attorney starts questioning her, and here I said, he's asking her about reporting the videos, and she goes into, how nothing can be repeated. It's hers, blah, blah, blah. And Merb speech. Now, let me tell you about the Merb speech, because that speech she gave last night. Let me think. Which one was it? Because the stuff that she was saying on her live last night was her practicing for her speech in trial today.
Okay, sure. I believe that.
And the judge said, "Nope, sorry if you mentioned I just got here. Was there a verdict?" I'm getting there, Terry, but no, there wasn't. Heather was cool. The judge said, "No, we're not doing that." and softer from her speech. And then let's see. Because she did, they're taking revenue from my channel, huh?
I'm gonna get my notebook.
Thank you. They're taking money from my channel because I saw comments where they said they don't have to watch me anymore because they're watching her, and this and that, which.
But isn't that everybody's right? You're allowed to do that if you want. YouTube is a public platform, right? We can watch videos whenever the hell we want to. No?
Yes. But it was, the thing is, she lied about, let me say this. She lied about it taking views from her channel, because when someone talks about you, that promotes your channel. That's all that does.
Absolutely, it does. And her channel's been dying for years. Her channel has been dying on the vine for years.
Where's the camera? This was my artist sketch. I'm not a good drawer. Of Merb taking the stand with her mouth just she was mouth breathing. Mouth breathing.
Oh my God, it looks great.
And then later on, when she was, Randy will talk about this, but Merb was losing her shit next to her attorney. So I kind of drew.
She's yelling at him about Thanksgiving. You know it.
And
now,
she looked like she just rolled out of bed. Like her hair is like an orange brown, dry, like it could break in half. Split ends.
Oh no.
Well, see, I feel bad about, because look, I don't
think she slept.
Yeah, I don't think she slept, and I don't think I would have slept either. Hold on, I'm getting you another sketch that was done, and I think that anyone will appreciate this one. And I may send this to you, Wendy, so you can share it. I'm just trying to crop it some.
And also, Matri started off. Her attorney started off by telling the courts that Held to the No was attempting using like reckless behavior to shut Merb's channel down. Like that was her whole point.
That kind of stuff pisses me off.
Without Merb's permission. But with fair use, you don't always need permission.
Right.
As long as your videos are. This is what confuses me. It was an interesting trial learning about fair use, but I know it as you don't need permission. As long as you choose transformative for criticism, parody, education, entertainment, or whatever.
Well, that's the thing with putting it out here. We put it out here and people take it. It's sometimes it just sucks. They do stuff with our pictures too. I mean, it just
incredible. Who did this?
Sandy Law.
Oh my God, Sandy!
The sketch artist.
Oh wait, do you want me to crop it?
Yeah, crop it.
It's okay. Let me crop it real quick. I'm so sorry. Let me crop it real quick. That is crazy. That is so crazy. Let me see here if I can crop it like this. Come on.
Hey, Gemma. Hey, everybody. I haven't said hey to.
Hi, everybody. Life Rewinded. You're near us. You should come visit.
Sandy, I can't believe this picture. I'm dying. This picture is incredible.
Actually, we're probably going to go to Manhattan Wednesday.
Yes, absolutely. You guys need to
join us in Manhattan.
How did she do this? I'm so amazed. That's amazing. I wish I could draw like that.
Judge yelled at her 5 times, at least. Hi, Beth.
Hey,
Beth. Kevin.
All right, it's in, ready.
Boom, y'all.
Amazing. Amazing. That's incredible, Sandy. Pink, I want yours too. Can you send me yours?
Such a crap. I couldn't believe it.
No, it's awesome. It's so good. It's so good. No, send it, please. Take a picture, screenshot it, take a picture, and send it to me. Please, 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 please.
I didn't even try my stick figures.
So good. Look, he did a whole Momo with her little. Look, that's exactly what I think he looks like too.
I
This is
think
exactly how I pictured it. Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Nice. Very nice. All right. So then what else
so
happened? Okay, so then what happened?
she's on the stand and they prosecution rested, I guess, or he no, yeah, well, he was done. And she's like, Judge, may I say something? He said, no, we're not doing that.
And no.
Yeah.
So I was taking tally of every time Matry would interrupt and object, and how many times the lawyer overruled. Like Matry would object to Schaefer's attorneys. So
Yeah.
that's 11 times.
Wow. And he was
11 times.
overruled all 11 times?
All 11 times.
Woo.
And one sustained.
That's
And-
not a good day.
And
Nope.
I don't want to say numbers because then Heather took the stand, and I don't want to say financial numbers, but this is what I wish Merb would have gotten out of this trial, because I do want to say, oh yes, Davita, prayers. I want to say that this lawsuit, this thing here could have been settled for less than $1,500 in the beginning.
Are we allowed to say that now? I guess obviously
Yeah.
we are, since you're saying
Yeah.
it. So
And
Yeah.
here we are.
you guys
So-
believe that? Did you hear what Randy just said? Let that sink in for a minute. Merb had the option to settle this months ago for $1,500.
Yep. But couldn't bring herself to admit that she did anything wrong. Even
Right.
though she knows there's no way, she's talking about the truth and this and that. Well, look, the truth is this. She knows every one of those videos was transformed. Every one of them.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. The reason she gave today for striking those videos were they are special moments I can't get back. They're
Right,
bullying
which has
my
nothing to do with
children.
copyright. And
Yeah.
and she feels like she's being bullied.
Yeah, they're bullying my children, my minor children, this, that. But the thing is Merb, you knew good and well that you were doing wrong. If you even watched the videos, which there's no proof that you even watched the videos at all.
Right.
But let me say, Heather's on the stand and, basically saying to, the reason that she hired her first attorney was because she didn't want Merb to get her information. Merb struck her. She paid for an attorney then. And I'll tell that was $350.
Yeah.
Merb struck her again. She got another attorney and hired them because she didn't want Merb finding out her information, because she wanted to stay. Thank you so much, Gather in Place, for the super chat. She wanted to stay anonymous, which is the best thing you can do on this platform if you can.
Yes.
So then I'm trying to block that, but I can't. So, okay. Coulda, shoulda. Okay, I see. I was trying to read it. So, but this was one of the best parts that I want Merb to hear. So Heather's basically saying, I hired these attorneys because she threatens people. She, to dox them, and that she explained what doxing is and all that stuff. Matry gets up there, or however you say it, and he says, you live in Tennessee and she lives here. Tell me more about these threats. And I swear that's when I wanted to say, ooh, pick me, Mr. Cotter, because I live in Tennessee.
Right.
Tell me about the threats. Ooh, that I swear that it made me mad.
Well, and what did she say? Tell us. What did she say? What did she say about the
Well,
threat?
Heather was on the stand then, and it got objected to. I think something happened. It didn't get answered. Wait, and
Okay.
but because I mean the way he said, "Tell me about these threats," and he said it, and it was getting harsher and harsher, and that's when he said, "Take it easy, Sparky,"
Take
and
it
that's when we
easy,
got a break.
Sparky. Okay, so wait. So it was Heather's attorney was asked. No, I'm sorry. Merv's attorney was asking Heather.
Yes,
Okay,
because
gotcha.
yeah. How there was one time I did laugh. I wish I could remember why I started laughing. I put my head down and laughed. If
When
anybody
he called
can,
him Sparky.
no, yeah, I did laugh then, but there was something else that happened that made me laugh. That I mean, because let me tell you something. He did nothing today but embarrass himself. But I'm glad. I'm glad it wasn't recorded. I'm glad for his parents' sake. Was the attempted murder the eagle mentioned? I was waiting for it.
Were you bothered by some people? Were you bothered? Was it you that told me it didn't bother you the way Merv grabbed her attorney to, you know how most people go like this, right? But
Yep.
the way she put her arm around him, and then and then she did this.
Well,
No,
Isn't it kind of
but it wasn't
like grabbed his cheek and
It's-
pulled him into? I was just like,
it's the all. I felt the opposite of what she felt because it was more like grabbing him and telling him what to say the whole time, the whole day. He would say, "Stop."
I
stop,
wouldn't do
stop."
that if I had an attorney. I would be like,
but he's
this.
her like nephew or something.
right. But
Yeah.
So she
it looked
probably
really
feels like
crazy.
she's in a power a position. You know.
She dominated.
Yeah,
him.
she probably feels like she's in a power position.
Oh yeah, she
Because
kept
she's
like,
his
and
relative.
he'd be standing up, bending down, listening to her, and then he'd stand up, and sometimes he'd either say what Carolyn wanted to say, or he'd pause for a minute and say, "Never mind."
Yeah,
Like, I don't
because-
know what she was saying to him, but she kept
Yeah.
like bringing him back down, like, say this, say this, say this. And she tried to even interrupt counsel and talk to the judge and had to be told again by the judge, no, you don't
Just
speak.
a bunch of bloods. Thank y'all so much for the tips. Thank y'all so much.
You don't speak.
So then we go to lunch, which is where I got my blister.
Blister.
My blister. So no, Vinny's not here. It wasn't none of their behavior
Did
was
you get
appropriate. Oh, that's a good picture. That's a really good picture. None because they were really speaking to each other and there was at one point where the judge looked at her attorney and he said, you got to stop. You got to stop. Because sometimes he wouldn't object. He would just stand up and start talking.
But what would he say? Like, what kinds of things did he talk?
So whenever they said your browser history didn't show that you watched the videos, he jumped up and said, "That's not true. That's not," and it was just, when we got back from lunch, oh gosh, I wish I could remember what all he was saying when the judge, thank you so much, Gathering Place. I feel like I'm not doing fine.
You're doing great.
It was just so off the rails. It was beyond. Of course, I've never been to a bench trial. The only trials I've been to have been very, straight laced and by the book. And I've never seen a new attorney at work trying his best to jump. We're talking the judge, had to stop him from jumping up and down and yelling out and just, no, this didn't happen and that didn't happen. And no, it was crazy.
It was.
Yeah.
Of course you can, Kevin. Can I tell Shannon M our channel? Of course.
Okay.
So after lunch, he moves for a dismissal, and people seem shocked, but that always happens after he's watched court TV.
Yeah.
After lunch, they always move for a dismissal.
Motion to dismiss.
Yeah. So, but instead of it just being a regular one, it was a effing, I don't know, book, a novel. I'm sitting there trying to stay awake. It just too much. And then that's when, okay, hold on. I am Marb's sitting beside him. Heather's where she's supposed to be beside her attorney. And so when he brings in, that none of this stuff can be proven, that's when Heather's lawyer stands up and says, no, we handed you the proof that none of these videos were even watched. And nothing, this stuff that she says she looked up is not in her search history. And then that's when he stands up and starts going crazy.
And what did he say?
He said, you don't know. And the judge is like, no, we're not having that. No. And sets him down. And it was just a mess.
So is he not aware of the evidence that's been admitted? He should know that stuff's been admitted.
He should know because it was those 54 pages. We did.
Yeah, has he not even looked at it? Because all of that stuff is in evidence, right?
Yes. And yet y'all better believe, look, apple does not fall far from the tree. It was very, you can tell they're related for sure. For sure. Not wrong about, hey, Cupcake, you're not wrong about anything.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Alicia.
He wouldn't take no. He just didn't know when to stop.
Even when the judge
did not know when to stop. It just the rebuttals over and over. Like he just, in the closing, after Heather's lawyer did his closing, he rebuttals and just the whining and the and no matter how many times the judge explained. The judge was very good.
Thank you.
And explained a lot of the law to her, to Carolyn's attorney.
He was very patient.
It just didn't matter to him. He was just, and it's one thing to be aggressive and be a good attorney in that way, but he whined and he did
like
whine. My cousin Vinny.
He talked like the lawyer from My Cousin Vinny, or maybe my Vinny, but he, there was times he did literally use that judge voice. Seriously.
Oh my God.
I wish you were there.
Did you want to run over and say, did he hurt your feelings?
Right. Oh, I forgot about that. The video they saw was a clip of a video of Merv saying, and this really bothered them. They showed evidence of Merv saying, if you play so much as if you play any of my property, I'll strike you.
It was an audio clip.
Yeah.
And it was loud. Someone had the volume on max.
Yeah. So it
went through the whole courtroom.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
So they had her saying that. And he's like, and that was after the fact, though. I spit. That was after the fact. That was way after. She said that after.
A sore loser.
Yeah. So then Merv, okay, so we thought for the most part, though, Merv had behaved at this point, didn't really pull too many shenanigans yet. And then when she felt under pressure, that's when she had to leave the courtroom. She was trying to bring up a video.
I had to leave. I couldn't, when she started with the excuses and they're doing this to me, they're doing that. And I knew she was going to mention her son. And before she did that, I had to get up and take a breather. I walked out of the courtroom because I don't know.
Merv left the courtroom.
No, Pink had to leave the courtroom.
Wow.
I'm not going to say any names, but someone did get scolded for being noisy. Wasn't me.
It wasn't Randy.
It usually is Randy. That's why she has to say it wasn't me.
Yeah. Well, that
sometimes
was my phone.
You know how people have involuntary, I did gasp once at the beginning of the trial when Merv was and it just comes out.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even upset at that point. I was just so shocked at something she said
Yes,
or
Sarah.
behavior. Oh, when she tried to interrupt and talk to the judge while she's a witness on the stand, like having a conversation. I went, like,
Yeah.
but when she got up for the second time, I knew it was coming. I knew
Mhm.
it was coming, and I got up and I just,
It-
I left.
when she
just
got
sat
up
outside.
there-
we've known from the beginning that that's been her plan this entire time, is to
And
go in
this
there
is-
and pretend that she's, that everything is about bullying and harassment instead of copyright.
And this is what happened.
Right.
You know, she's like, I would never strike a video that I didn't think was not under fair use. I would never, because that would hurt my channel, and that is how I feed my children. I would, without my channel, she said this, without my channel, we don't eat.
Wow.
And I would have objected.
Wow.
That's
It
the
happened.
frustration. I know, because this is about
That
copyright.
was, yeah.
And every time she would mention, the drama, when I'm like, why is
Yes,
she allowed
Pussycat.
to bring that up?
Yeah, she shouldn't have that. And they were trying to.
That's why her children were there. That's why
Lori.
she brought her kids.
Yes,
They were so
Exactly
bored.
like I said.
Imagine
Brought her
being
kids so that she could look like a pitiful mom. And everybody's just trying to hurt her and hurt her children.
no cell phone. They drag you into a courthouse that has nothing to do with those children. They should not be there. I'm sorry.
Of course not. And how
And they're
scary.
like, one
Thank
of
you
them's
so much.
asleep. One of them's asleep. The other one is just like,
but I felt
pulling at his hair. Like,
I felt bad for him because
you
I
imagine?
know.
Wait. Could you imagine, though, hearing your mother say, without my channel, we don't eat?
No,
What are your
I
children
look over-
supposed to do with that
I
kind of
look over at
information?
Jimmy and I'm like, Jimmy,
Yeah, absolutely. That's where my head goes. Jimmy, why are you such a waste of space, sir? Why aren't you,
Right, yeah,
giving your
she's got
family
you sitting here looking like a whole jabroni. Are you gonna just sit there? And he did.
But
I
I'm
mean, well,
sorry,
what-
that is terrible to do to your children. You cannot, you're sitting there as a child, incapable of helping this situation in any way, shape, or form, other than being there so that the judge might get some, sympathy votes. And you hear her say, without my channel, we don't eat. What are her children supposed to do with that?
Right.
That is so
and,
wrong.
You don't put adult problems. Say that's true.
Yeah.
You don't put adult problems on children.
Absolutely.
that's-
What are they supposed to do? Go get jobs?
awful.
I don't
Well,
understand.
that is what's something I can say that, Steph, not too long ago, she said, if Mom and Jim ever had financial problems, we never knew. And you're damn
Absolutely.
right. You're damn right.
Absolutely
Thank
not.
you so
Ever.
much, Lori. Yeah, they would
Never.
have
Same.
never known. Yeah.
Same.
Never talked about adult things in front of my children. They don't have to suffer. Let them be kids. They should have never been.
Absolutely. There's not a
Yeah.
thing they can do about it except sit there and be worried and be scared.
They're not
So why
going to
are
have
you telling them this?
Mhm.
now. What if they're thinking, if Mom loses this, we're not going to have
Food.
Exactly. We don't eat. She just said it.
Yeah.
We don't eat. That's what
Supposed
she
to put
said.
their parents as security, safety. You feel safe around them.
Shameful.
Yes,
That no matter
Shameful,
what
Merv.
your
You
parents
should be
will
ashamed of yourself.
Sandy. Yes, she should be ashamed of her. The performance. Then she brought up
Terrible.
a video where she says, I have not seen this video. I've never seen a video making fun of her son or making fun of when she got the news of when her son passed
Nope,
away.
I've never seen a video about that ever. I've never seen that at all. And I would never support it if I did see it. I
No,
would never be okay to see that. I've never seen any video attacking her children. Never
No.
once. All
She
these
brought-
lies that she makes up. And she tells them there are videos of people attacking them on the internet. Again, what
She
are they
was-
supposed to do with that information?
she was trying to get that in today. But then she says, she brings up that video and the lawyer says, objection. That video, that the name, because she named the name of the video, He said that video is not even included in this lawsuit.
Good.
She never even struck that video. So,
Wow. See?
supposedly that video, it never got struck.
Because this has never been about copyright for her. This has been about bullying for her. She's never been able to even follow along that this isn't about anything to do with other than copyright. She thinks it's been about, people bullying her.
So then he objected, didn't let her get her sentence out, but lo and behold, she sure enough slipped it in. She's like, when he said, what do you think falls under fair use? And she said, well, definitely not laughing at making a video of laughing at me when I lost my son. Boom, there it was.
Which never happened. Which never happened. And isn't in there anyway.
Then there came the more theatrics, and that's when it just seemed like, I mean, you could just feel the anger from our side. The embarrassment from the other side. And if she couldn't look out and see, it was pathetic. It was pathetic. And then Heather gets back on the stand. He questions her some more. And Heather just answers every single thing that Heather answered. It was honest. Yes, I took her property. I spliced this together. I added commentary. I added this. I added gifts. I added that. And basically that was it. That was the trial. And it took them all day long, all day to get there. And the judge said at the end, it gave them two options. One, y'all can come back tomorrow and give closing statements. Or y'all can do, I forgot what he called it, but basically each go make a memo why you think you won this case and send it to me, and you'll have your ruling on Friday.
Wow.
And that's how it ended.
So the ruling is not going to be in open court?
No.
Wow.
I think by this time, I think that the judge had enough.
Yeah.
And he, like I said, he was very patient with Merv's attorney, but y'all, it was just ridiculous. She never.
In her brain, it's not about copyright. So it's got to be really frustrating.
No, she took it from, I struck that because sentimental.
Right.
You can't, that's not, and that's what I hope that this judge sees. The thing is if she had looked out to
but the point is, these are supposed to be copyright infringing videos, and they're not.
No.
So I feel like Heather wins. Period.
Heather, if you looked out today in the crowd, Heather won. And that was something that bothered. Okay, so Merv's attorney got up, and I was so proud of Heather. He said to her, are you online already saying that you won? You're saying that you won no matter the turnout of this trial? And Heather said, I feel like I've stood up for a lot of people that she's hurt. So I do feel like I've won.
Absolutely. And what's it to you, Mr. Matry? She can say whatever the fuck she wants. Why don't you go sit down, punk?
And I think, and he's like, and who is she hurt? And she's like, subscribers, people, and of course she couldn't point at, look out here and see all these people.
Right.
But when she said that, I hope that sunk in. Like, you know what? No matter the outcome, you stood there and She lied under oath. Merv lied because one video, 6 seconds of that video, she said was copyright. Now she said the entire video is her intellectual property. Heather has took all of her videos and done this. But why did you say it was only 6 seconds of that whole
Right.
6-minute video or 4
Yeah.
minute, 6 minute? Because it's all a bunch of bullshit.
Because it's about bullying. It's nothing to do with copyright.
Yeah.
That's all this was. This was her, the only thing she could think of to do to fight back.
Carolyn emotionally hurt a vulnerable population. Exactly.
Very much. And I don't expect that judge to understand that because, judges very rarely understand the
You're
YouTube,
floored.
Underground, the stuff that happens under, on the streets out here. They don't understand and they don't get it. So I understand, I get that that's not easy easy to explain to the judge, but we all know because we've covered it here many times that she has hurt a lot of people, a lot of really good people that didn't deserve to be hurt.
Yep. A lot of people that she could have looked at today and realized I've touched those people's lives. Each and every person that's sitting out there, which was, I think there was 9 of us, I've touched. And those are just the ones that came. Look at how many people are in here and they're typing.
Right.
Yes, she's held to the no, Hazel Eyes. I can't talk. You've touched every one of their lives in a negative way. They have nothing positive to say about you.
That's what you're going to be remembered for.
Yeah. Which part are you floored about, Kevin? I'm very interested to see what he has to say. It seems to be the copyright was not proven. She did not there. To me, there's no. She did not prove that she considered fair use. Now it's up everything, Randy, because I can't unsee what I learned. I gotcha.
Well, and that's the truth, Kevin, because when you're in it, you don't see it. And then when you get out, you can't not see it.
You're welcome, Tolbert. Well, and I'm thinking that he knows about maybe not watching videos and just getting timestamps and her not caring, no, it's sentimental because Jimmy fell down the stairs. That's what you feel, and then there was one where that said her son didn't know how to pray, and I remember that video, and I can't say that I liked that video, but
but again, that's not copyright.
But instead of saying, that it was a small clip, it was her judging other people, saying they're not going to heaven, they're not Christians, have trauma from the experience. I bet you do, Kevin. I bet you do. Anytime you want to come up and talk about it, we got you. Anytime.
Yeah, anytime, Kevin.
Yes.
And don't you let her try to intimidate you not to either.
Yeah.
And you have a right to tell your story.
Instead of, because, all right, Heather explained that video. She said, I took where she's judging people, saying they're not Christians, they're not this and that, to, where her son says she tells her son to pray, and he says, I don't know how. And the thing is she took that, and that's what was said in that video. He said, I don't know how to pray. That was it.
If I had a video
on that stand in front of her,
if I had a video of my children saying something like that, the last place I would put it is on YouTube. Why the hell would you post something like that, Merv?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why would you post something like that on YouTube? You're fucking shameful, man. Absolutely gross. See, I don't watch her, so I don't know the kind of dirty shit that she puts out, but you're poor kids.
Thanks,
you're
Jana.
Poor kids. And then to say shit like if I don't have my channel, we don't eat. And that's the kind of content you put out.
But it gets worse. It gets worse because let me say this about her kids. She's got beautiful, well-behaved kids, period. Those two boys were very handsome, well behaved, well dressed young men.
I have no doubt.
And she sat there in front of them today and said about that video, she said, and they said the most awful things about my sons.
Like, again, why would you say
Everything.
that? Why would
That
you tell
never
them that?
happened. It never happened. Why lead them to believe that?
Because you're dirty, Mom. Ugh. You're dirty, Mommy Ramblings. You are dirty. Absolutely shameful.
Wow, Kevin. Wow.
Why
I'm
would
so
you tell
sorry.
your children that?
Yeah, because and it never happened. So they're sitting there, the awful things, and the fake crying. There was no tears, no
Never
tears.
is. Never is.
The
Never has
awful
tears.
things they said about my boys, my children, my minor children, all lies. You
Wow.
lied today, Merb, under oath. And then she on her community post, God knows, God saw it. That's right. No matter the outcome of this
God
trial,
does know, honey. He does
yeah.
know.
So don't
Trust
be
and believe
preaching.
that.
Don't be preaching to the choir over there. You need to hit them knees, what you need to hit.
That makes me so mad. I'm so disgusted at that.
It was
Does
disgusting.
she not understand the damage she's doing to those children? How dare you put that on any child's back? How dare you put that responsibility on them and then let them think that there's videos of people making fun of them online? Something, again, they can do nothing about and isn't even true. And nobody has any way to tell them that. Nobody has any way to say, guys, that's not true.
Yeah.
We wouldn't let videos. If I saw a video of someone making fun of her children, I would rant and roar until that video was taken down. I would call your ass out every day until that video was taken down, because I do not support that. I would not want to see it, and I would be sad if any of my friends thought to do it. Luckily, I can't think of any of my friends that would want to do that.
Same. No, it don't. It wouldn't happen.
But if that happened, I would be all over it like white on rice. I would absolutely call for that to be taken down, just as aggressively as I'm calling for Merb to make sure her children know that that is not there, that doesn't exist, and you should be ashamed of yourself for making your children believe it. I'm disgusted.
So, and there's this one point where she's like, and she's talking about, and she's looking at the judge when she's saying it, trying to appeal to him. He's not looking back because, he's professional, Sarah Boone. And so she's like, and all those videos are mean. They're mean videos. They're mean. So then Heather's lawyer
makes they're not copyright infringements. Don't give
Heather's
a fuck if they're mean.
Makes a very good point. He gets up there and he's like, so you said those videos are mean. Very mean. Very mean. They're very mean. He said, so you would want them down. No.
Yeah, that's why you struck them then, right?
Not if they fall under fair use. No, I wouldn't do that. I would not. Under oath, I wouldn't do that. I swear. God. Like, you protesting way too much.
Ridiculous. Remember, she tried that shit in her deposition too. She's like, well, you have my sworn testimony that I would never do that.
Yeah.
That's all you need, right? Just your sworn testimony. Don't need evidence.
Because if you said it, it's gospel, right?
Right. Got to be true if it came out of your mouth. Oh, I'm so mad right now.
The insanity that went on today. The insanity, and not from Heather. I don't care the outcome. I don't care the outcome of this trial. Heather behaved like a normal human, and the Adams family acted like the Adams. Okay?
Oh, I'm so mad, though.
Yeah, she wanted to appeal to the judge.
Of course she did. She wanted to whine and cry.
Yes.
Which I think, makes me wonder why she wanted a bench trial instead of a jury trial, because I would feel like, you'd want to put that show on for as many people as possible. But I guess not, huh?
Right. No matter, I'm telling y'all, being there, no matter the outcome, Heather won. I'm telling you. There was no, because I can look at that judge and see what he sees. When he looks out, he sees a bunch of what he probably thinks is uh, middle-aged women
Tit for
with
tat
tit for
bullshit. That's what
tat.
he sees.
Yeah. And I'm talking about us, looking at all of us thinking, this is a bunch of people who have, nothing else going on in their life, blah, blah, blah. And because he even said, he's like, I can see this became personal.
Right.
And you know what? It became personal when you went after Heather's son's sponsors, Merb, which,
Yeah.
Heather didn't even bring that up in court. She didn't go low. She didn't go low. She didn't go for pity. She went for the truth, just the absolute truth.
Right.
No extras, no chicanery, just the facts.
Just plain
And
integrity.
yep. And Merb had no integrity. If she says she did, I'm sure she's going to say she did. I promise y'all she didn't. We have witnesses that were there that saw it. Yes. Oh, Kevin, if you only knew. I'll let, if anybody over there wants to talk about how much money was spent, they can. I'm not going to do it. Florida Gray Lady, is that the real Florida Gray Lady? Because that's a different channel.
Okay, so Randy, I was sent some notes from Sandy Law that she's asked me to read.
Okay, thank you. I couldn't see them, Sandy.
Is now a good time to read them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to pull those in. She said I can share them with everybody.
Okay.
So let's enjoy those. Let me pull them in right now.
And let me tell y'all, Sandy Law came in court looking like a dime today.
She did. I know. I saw her. I'm like, damn. Who is that?
Yes.
Who is that cutie?
Yeah, Florida has a wrench here. That's not Florida Gray Lady.
All right, let me see if I can open this wider so you guys can see it. I'm trying to make it nice and big so y'all can see it. Can I get rid of this thing? Oh, yes, I can. Goodbye.
Oh, okay, Florida.
All right, so do you see it? Do you see it, Randy?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to start reading. At 9:45, arrived at the courthouse with my daughter, Tina, also looking like a whole snack. Her daughter's a hottie patati.
Yes.
Beautiful. As soon as we went through the turnstile door, I looked up and saw Heather standing at the balcony. That is when it became real. Woo! 10:05, walked into courtroom 521. I scanned the room and saw Carolyn and her lawyer sitting at the table. She turned and looked at us and said to her lawyer, "They are all here for her." One on the right side, Pink, Jackie, and Randy sat in the front row. Pussycat, me, my daughter, Wolf Girl, Thing One, and My Crazy Life sat in the second row. Behind us, there were 2 rows of lawyers in training. Oh, bless them. Bless those poor lawyers in training.
Yeah.
That's quite the court hearing to sit in on, huh? On the left, Jimmy and the 2 boys sat in first row. Not sure what happened to the party bus full of her supporters. The back 2 rows on the left were lawyers in training. 10:32, introduced the 3 legal team members for Heather and introduced Heather. We wanted to cheer, but we held it together.
True.
Introduced Carolyn's lawyer, Pitbull Matry, and introduced Carolyn. There are no filters in court, so we were all taken aback as to see her natural glory. None of us wanted to cheer. Sandy. Woo. 10:33. Yes, 10:33. Matry argued with the judge about what district they were in. The judge yelled at Matry.
I forgot that.
We all gasped and smiled. Okay, listen, Randy. This is the kind of notes that we're looking for at the end of every trial. So
I have them in my other ones. I forgot that. He threatened to
this next time. Either that or Sandy has to go with you. Sandy either has to go with you to every trial or you got to produce this at the end of every trial you go to.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I forgot. He mixed it up the entire trial to the point where the judge said it's $5 every time you get it wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So, yeah, Matry argued with the judge about what district they were in. The judge yelled at Matry to sit down. We all gasped and smiled. 10:35. Carolyn took the stand. She looks miserable. She didn't wear a power suit, just a black long sweater, a white and black blouse, and black pants. Carolyn is making Heather's lawyer over-explain things. The lawyer asked if she submitted 12 videos. Carolyn said no, so they made her count the video files. She counted to 12 just fine. Very grown up of her. Sandy. 10:42. Her baby voice made an appearance. Oh, God.
Several times.
10:45. First objection from the pit bull. 10:51. Judge told Carolyn not to interrupt. Oh, dear. 11:03. Judge shut Carolyn down for talking when no question was posed to her.
Yes.
Judge looked like a cat wanting to swat around a cornered mouse. Matry argued that he couldn't be sure the video links were valid, so he had to prove they went to a secure site. Judge wasn't excited about that.
Yes.
11:09. Carolyn kept looking at the ceiling when she was asked if she read a document about copyright laws. She said yes, but she read it online. The lawyer rephrased the question a few times for her. Video dated 10/2/2023. Wow, cannot believe she is so clueless to threaten me again. 2 minutes, 30 seconds was played to show Carolyn speaking about Heather. Matry objected, saying they were trying to assassinate Carolyn's credibility.
I'm so glad you wrote that.
11:11. Judge laughs at Matry when he denies his objection. This was golden. I have a crush on the judge.
I love you, Sandy.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
11:26. Carolyn used her fake cry voice when she explained how playing her videos took money from her family. 11:29. Something was said by Sparky. The judge said so much is funny about all of this, but not at the same time. What? What happened?
Wait, say that again. I was reading chat.
Something was said by I can't see chat, so if they need me to say something, let me know. Something was said by Sparky. That's the pit bull, Matry. The judge said so much is funny about all this, but not at the same time.
He did say that, but I missed what was said before that. So I'm not sure what.
Okay. Yeah. 11:30. Carolyn, in her wounded, childlike voice, asked, "Is there anything I can say?" The judge answered, "No, you can't." I love it. 11:55. Heather takes the stand. Awareness video was being spoken about. 11:57. Carolyn was nodding her head. No, no, no. When Heather said Carolyn doxed her. 12:11. Matry questions Heather. Heather explained she was in Awareness Channel. Heather explained how she transformed Carolyn's videos as to not infringe on the copyright laws. Like changed her voice, added music, added pictures, used text on videos, mixed two videos together. 12:36. Carolyn's head nearly pops off. Eminem reference. When they mentioned the video kid doesn't know how to pray video. She was shaking her head so violently, she looked back at Jimmy.
Yes, that's true. I think she mouthed to him too.
12:40. Matry, the pit bull, was getting a bit loud with his questioning of Heather, so the judge leaned in and said, "Take it easy, Sparky." Oh my gosh. Golden. Perfect notes, Sandy. These are the kind of notes we want, Randy. I'm telling you, next time I want to see this.
I shall do better.
You have to, girl. You have to. We're dying here. I slammed my book closed. We were told to go to lunch. Heather was thoughtful and clear when she answered her questions. Would also like to add the bold "say it to my face" that we've heard over and over again was pure and simple bullshit. She didn't look over at any of us in the eye. I'm sure she felt our eyes bore into the back of her head. I love that for her. At one point, Sparky, how cool is the judge, gave him a puppy name. Yeah, it's not really a pit bull name, is it? It's a puppy name. At one point, Sparky asked Heather, do you live in Tennessee and my client lives in New York? How is she a threat to you? Poor Randy swiveled her head back to look at us with the best what the fuck face she could muster. I loved meeting the ladies, and I had the chance to meet today. I'm honored that I got to witness the first half of the trial. Can't wait to hear about the rest. Sandy Law. Love it. Golden. Absolutely fantastic, Sandy. Thank you for those. Thank you for all of that. Absolutely wonderful. Great notes.
Yes.
I like a good play-by-play. You know, the timestamp. Here's what happened. Timestamp. Here's what happened. I love that. Really nicely
Thank you,
done.
Sandy. You got much faster than I do, and probably type faster as well.
Well, the good news is you could read it into a text thing and probably record it just as fast.
Oh, thank you. Freddie is ready. Yes,
Zelda.
Yeah.
But I liked your notes too, Randy, obviously, because I love that you can tell us, you know, details about all the stuff we just read. So
yeah,
very nicely done. Very nicely done, both of you. All of you.
Yes, it was a day for sure. And no matter the outcome, it is what, it just is what it is. She basically told on herself that she knew they weren't, that they were fair use. But
and she told what she did, it seems like she told on herself that this was never about copyright. And I hope that's what I hope the judge sees. And I hope Heather's attorney points that out. This was never about copyright. This has from the jump been about Carolyn whining that people are bothering her because she can't handle that her channel is dying of her own accord. Your channel is dying of your own accord. You can't stand it. So you say it's due to bullying and harassment. You bring your poor children into it as if somehow they're going to starve now because you can't manage an income. Jimmy, for whatever reason, doesn't work. I don't understand that. I would smack him around until he got a job. Wendy's hiring, I'm sure. Or McDonald's. Go fucking work somewhere, dude. Bring some money home.
Well, look, I'm not gonna. I think he retired, and I know that he gets a check. He brings in money.
But if it's not enough to feed your family, then get some income. Like, there's no excuse other than Merb likes this. She wants this. She knows she doesn't make any money on her channel. She knows her channel's been dying for years, and she refuses to change or leave because she likes it.
Oh, he does work? Maybe he does. I don't know. I know that she didn't care who she met. That's what I don't like about Merb. She enjoys making people feel small, and she didn't care that it was her husband today. Or her kids. That amazes me. That always amazes me.
I know. I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely enraged. I'm disgusted that the stuff that you put on your poor kids. Like, I'm so sad for them.
Yeah. And I bet you that, you could tell she didn't sleep last night. But I bet you she sleeps tonight. It's not even going to bother her that she did that to her kids. It's not going to bother her.
No, because she thinks it's normal. Remember what she did when the dog died? She dragged her poor kids over there to look at it and talk about people on the internet. Like, your dog is dead. What are you doing? Your poor children. I can't, whatever, dude. They're not my children. They're her children. It's none of my business. But then shut up about it. Stop bringing out shit to the internet, because then everybody gets to have an opinion about it. You keep bringing it here.
Right. If I told personal stuff, people would have an opinion about it. They've certainly, Merb, you've had opinions about my life.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I just think it's ridiculous. You constantly hold your children up as if they're being attacked and bullied, and it's lies. It's all lies. She's never once that I've seen proven that anyone has attacked her children.
She didn't even do that in court. She lied under oath with no proof.
No proof at all.
Going
And if
after
you
her.
and I dare you, Merb, I dare you to say that I'm attacking your children right now, bitch. I fucking dare you to say it. Because in front of all these people, there's not one person in this room that thinks I'm attacking your children. I'm attacking you, ma'am.
Never shown proof,
Mm-mm.
ever. She's accused. What, she accused you, Wendy, also attacking her kids?
Yep. Because I put up a video showing that she lied about feeding that eagle.
As well, and
I covered up her children. I didn't show her.
Proof, Merv.
Her
Show
children
it.
are covered.
She even lied. Yes, that's right. I forgot she accused you of attacking her children, and you covered them up.
Absolutely, I did. You can't tell who her children are.
But
Yeah.
she also said today that when she reached out, like she's supposed to Heather about that video, that's when Heather blurred the kid's face. But then they're not blurred. You can still see them. That's not true. Heather blurred their face to begin with. Another lie on the stand. You know,
so did I. I blurred their faces too. I didn't blur them. I blacked them out. You can't see them.
Well, the thing is she about her showing proof. The judge is going to watch all those videos. The judge is nowhere near done with his job yet. Bless his heart.
Because they didn't show any proof because it's a bench trial. It's not a jury trial. So they didn't have to show any of the proof in court. He's got a stack full of shit that he's got to look through now.
I pray the video of her screaming at Natasha Cooper into the microphone is one of them. Remember that one where she screams, Natasha Cooper!
You are a nobody!
Yeah, that's right. You are a nobody.
Or I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you all.
I'm going to sue you the pants off of you or something like that. Yes.
I wish
you're going to go down so flipping hard.
I wish because there were several of us there that we were witnesses.
Because again, none of that has to do with copyright, though.
She threatened that she had my legal name. No, you don't. Prove it, Merv. Right. You know, why did you strike me, Merv? Because you wanted my legal name.
Yep.
You know, she struck me over a few seconds of Fred Flintstone, you know, animated with Merv's voice altered in it for a few seconds. And then it was a compilation of movies and TV shows of something, of being angry or saying whatever. And she struck that. And I believe if you're going to strike someone on YouTube and I did not counter strike, isn't she required to take me to court? Isn't that how it goes on YouTube?
Not if you don't counter. If you
no,
counter,
if you counter, she has 10 days.
Then she has to, she has 10 days or something to prove that she's taking you to court over it. And then if not, the strike comes off.
So I used her voice, altered it slightly, and she struck. And that's a false copyright right there. I don't need to go to the judge or anyone for advice. And I didn't counterclaim it because I know she was after my address, my name.
Exactly. And that's why a lot of people don't counterclaim because
I have your name. No, you don't. I checked my 2 emails I ever sent her. And they were not signed my legal name.
Yeah. But look at that talk about bullying. You're out here threatening people, Merv, that you know their private information, that you know where their daughters' husbands work. I've heard it. I've heard her do that.
The guy from another state that works at a bank.
Yes. I've heard her do all of that.
Yeah. Thank you, peace, love, and groovy times. Thank you. You are.
Like it's pathetic. Talk about a bully. You're a damn bully, Merv.
It is, sweet. It's a messed up system. But then she also said that, you know, I have to be real with everything because YouTube uses AI. Not when all this started. AI wasn't a thing around YouTube then.
No.
And the judge isn't going to understand that sometimes they go through because a bot gets them. You know?
Yeah.
It just... What did we
And
guess?
sometimes they do go through.
Yeah, sometimes they don't. And then she's like, if I wanted her channel down, why didn't I strike all of her videos? Only because it takes 3.
And yeah, and she knows that. It only
Thank you.
takes 3, ma'am. And her channel did go down, didn't it?
Yes. Her channel did go down. And it's like you're hoping that the judge is able to take all this in, because Heather
Right.
did talk about her channel going down, and she had to hire an attorney to get it back up and all this stuff. And she had to hire that attorney to keep her name private. And
And yeah, she said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wanted to remain anonymous, with her name.
Yes.
She already went after her son, right? His
Yep.
livelihood, his
yes,
sponsor threatening, his livelihood. Like, I wish that was brought up.
well, and I said, I think, Heather didn't bring it up on purpose, just because maybe she didn't have the proof there with her,
Well,
that could
but
be
the problem is that doesn't have, like I said, about everything Merv keeps bringing up, that doesn't have anything to do with copyright. Now,
Exactly,
if this were a bullying,
nothing
and
is more. It's a defamation.
What is that
suit.
noise? Do you hear
it's
that
not
noise?
us. I heard it.
Hang on.
It's not a defamation suit. It's a copyright.
It's gone. Right. It's not defamation. It's not bullying and harassment. It's copyright. So all of that is not any evidence. It's not evidence. It's proof that she's a jerk for sure, but it's not any kind of. It doesn't help her copyright case, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Right. So it was something. Today was something.
It was.
Well, I
Something
love
else.
that Heather showed all the integrity in the world, just like we knew that she would. And Merv showed 0, just like we knew that she would.
She did. She really did.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all we got. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are. It's been a long day.
Thank y'all so much for joining.
Are you going to do some sightseeing?
Yes. Wednesday,
Good.
I think.
Wednesday,
But
Manhattan.
you're not going to be there Friday for
think
whatever.
tomorrow-
What?
You're not going to be there on Friday when the judge rules. He's not ruling in the courtroom.
He's doing it by telephone.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to do like a conference call and just let everybody
I
know where he
guess so.
stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I guess.
leaving. I'm leaving. Well, we're leaving Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys have a
At
great rest.
first, I said, "Do you want to just reconvene tomorrow?" And then I don't know what happened. It
Yeah.
got to, I don't know what happened. It was like my head was already. I was so drained at that point, and I'm like,
I'm sure
Wait a
Merv was
minute.
like, "No, we need to get out of here. This is not going well.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. What else can we do? What are our options?"
somebody agreed to meeting tomorrow. I don't know
You're
if it was
welcome.
Matry or Heather's lawyer, and someone didn't. But it turned out to be that he's gonna.
Love you, Heather.
Because he said, I want to do this as quick as possible to leave it fresh, where it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
And then it comes out to be like, okay, I'll give a ruling by Friday. And I'm like,
You better keep it fresh, pal. Keep it fresh.
and when we were leaving the courtroom, we were all up in front of the building, and I heard that Merb and her family purposely went around the other way to avoid us.
Well, they came and saw us, and then they went around all the way around. Like we would.
want to stop and say hi. I would have.
I would have.
I expected a hug. Who knew?
Well, I mean, I
Hey,
would have
Jackie.
at least said hello. Might as well.
Just so immature. So immature.
I know she really is. She's such an embarrassment. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like we're not trash, Marb. We're not gonna look. I'm not gonna fist fight.
No one's
okay?
gonna jump her. Nobody's gonna fist fight her, beat you up. Stop. Calm down.
Thank you so much, Crafty.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, we didn't have a ruling today. She's so let down, but you didn't let anybody down. Nobody's let down.
No.
Oh, Heather, you didn't let anybody down. Are you kidding me, girl? This was golden. I think you did
Yes.
fantastic, honey. You didn't let anybody down. No way. Don't even think that. Don't let that thought creep into your head, Heather.
Jackie
That's not
Burns,
true at
you're
all.
gorgeous. You are thank you.
I know. I'm
You're
sad that Heather
gorgeous.
thinks that. Why does she think that? Why does she think that she let
Hey,
anyone down?
because we didn't get a ruling today.
But
And
that doesn't have anything to do with her.
Happens in courts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, it's a
that's
bench
what
trial. Yeah, I mean, that has
and
nothing to do with Heather.
like don't think of it like, you know, we wasted all this time coming here and, you know, and just, you know, thinking that we're going to go to court for a few days. Not like that. We're here to support you.
Absolutely.
100%.
And every time Randy goes to a trial and brings it back to us, we learn something new about our judicial system, about, you know, how things happen and how things work. It's always a good learning process for all of us, even if it
yes.
wasn't, you know, hilarious and fun to watch and fun to read
That
about.
was my first bench
Yeah.
trial that I've ever seen.
So
Yeah.
different.
I don't
Yeah.
even think I've seen any on YouTube. Like,
I have watched a couple on YouTube and they are very different. They are very,
Yeah.
very different for sure.
Yes. But
So,
Heather, you're awesome. Don't
yeah,
you
you're
dare
great.
feel that
Please
way.
don't think
You
that.
and Jackie are two awesome people. Everybody.
be very proud of yourself. Heather.
Oh, Nancy M. Yeah, of course they look bored. What, you know, they're normal teenage boys. They were bored.
I felt so bad for them.
Carolyn's
I really am
deleted
so
comment.
disgusted about her children.
Yeah,
Dragging
she's like,
them
I
to
would
court.
never do that. I would never do that. And she just did it to Carolyn's deleted comments.
You can conjure if you happen to ever.
What did she do? False struck?
Yeah. She just did it to her
That's the
channel.
thing. I wish other people could testify to show this pattern of behavior.
Yeah.
But
That's
they
what I
can't.
mean. You know, witnesses would have been great. But again, you know, this is a copyright. So,
Right.
and I think the point is, because it does get confusing. The point is, what is it, Randy? That
Probably gathering
she had to know what she was doing was a false copyright. What are they trying to prove? That
she didn't consider
they have to
she didn't know that she either knows what a false copyright is or copyright infringement or doesn't know.
Well, they're trying to prove, I think they're trying to prove that she knowingly filed a false copyright and took down these videos, even though they're not infringing on her rights in any way.
Yeah. Right.
That's my understanding.
Absolutely. Our heroes. Yes. All right, y'all. We're going to go and we will see y'all soon. Okay.
Good
all right. Have a good rest of your time in New York.
Find out what it costs for the trial. Okay. Gather in place. I'll do my best. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. Have a great night.